Welcome to Fat Boys Fantasy Sports.
What's
I'm
up, guys?
Steve. This is Ken over there.
Over here. I
To
think I'm
one,
on that side.
we don't know
I don't
because
know.
this fucking recording equipment
Steve
sucks.
might be on
Oh,
that side.
sorry. I didn't even make it 1 minute.
No kidding. We're gonna need to work on your F-bomb dropping.
All right, we had a great week last week.
We did.
Fat Boys Fantasy Sports cashed.
Had
and
we
all
gotten
of our. Go ahead.
had
we gotten?
had we gotten a video online and people were able to watch it and follow us, they would have cashed in all their cash games.
That's the thing. We're working on that. We were so busy working on our lineups and getting everything right. No. I'm doing a lot of research, man.
To be honest, though, we're still kind of in the pilot session. You know, we're still getting things going and trying to figure out exactly how we want to do it. So these are all practice. You know, by the time we get it on there, it's going to be smooth as silk.
The videos are practice. The lineups are not because they're hitting.
They are hitting. Well, go ahead and, you know, we did a Sunday lineup. It was a full slate Sunday. It was just the 1 o'clock games and the 4 o'clock games. Unfortunately, I was in a state that does not allow FanDuel, so I was not able to put any lineups in. So I didn't win shit off our lineup.
Well, I did because we made the lineup together, and then I put in $70 worth of cash games. Like I said, I'm gonna play $70 worth of cash games and $30 worth of tournament games on the main slates, and I sprinkled money in here and there on the other slates. But our lineup scored 152.8, which cast super easy. I mean, the cash line for most cash games was right around 125, 126. We cleared that by 25 points. I thought we did a good job on the cash game.
I thought we did a real good job, and you know, we didn't hit on a couple spots either. I mean, our tight end pick, the more I thought about it, it was a terrible pick. I mean,
it was.
We put Tyler Eifert in. He was a super money saver, but for about the same amount of money, we could have had Delaney Walker, who would have put us at like 170 points on a cash game, which probably would have put us up towards the top on all of them. Not that matters in 50-50s.
It doesn't matter in 50-50s, but if you're playing like you said, triple ups or quadruple ups, that extra 10 points can push you into the money because you're looking at only about 42% cash people cashing in that instead of 50%.
Yeah, and a double up, I think 42% cash, and a quintuple up only 20 or 18% cash, something like that. So yeah, those extra points matter there. But go ahead and give our lineup.
Okay, we won Dak Prescott. We thought he was going to have a good game against the Giants like he always does, and he did. He came through. 405 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. He had a perfect passer rating. His first time he's ever done that. It's only the third quarterback to do that in like the last 20 years or something.
First time in NFL history, 2 quarterbacks in the same week had a perfect passer rating.
Yeah, who was the other one?
Lamar Jackson.
Unbelievable.
Right?
You would have thought he would have had a perfect rushing record. Okay. We went with Christian McCaffrey, who was chalk. We thought he was going to be chalk, and it was going to be impossible to fade him, and it turned out it was. He's the highest scoring running back on the slate.
37 points or something like that.
37.9. We went with Chris Carson, who actually didn't, production-wise, just yardage, he would have failed us, really. But he ended up scoring a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown.
Right.
And that put him up there. He was pretty well owned, too. 74% owned cash games. So
everybody was down on the Bengals. I told you, man.
21.1 points. We went with Adam Thielen, and the Vikings almost destroyed us. Cousins only threw the ball 10 times.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, they didn't have to throw the ball. They were just destroying Atlanta. They ran the ball all day.
Dalvin Cook went nuts.
Adam Thielen scored us a touchdown. Dede Westbrook and Calvin Ridley were both doing absolutely nothing the entire game. And then the fourth quarter got pretty much garbage time touchdowns.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take that every time. Like we said, we made a big mistake with Tyler Eifert. He only scored 5.2 points. I found out watching Cincinnati, Tyler Eifert's talented, but they have 3 tight ends in Cincinnati, and they're going to use all 3 of them.
Yep.
So we're probably going to be fading Cincinnati tight ends the rest of the year. Travis Kelce, we put in our flex
spot. He didn't do hardly anything.
No, because there was another guy that we could have got. We talked about
that I was all over.
Yeah, we should have put in our lineup. He was the highest scoring wide receiver on the slate. Sammy Watkins is not mostly. He was doing this before Tyreek Hill got hurt. Well, now Tyreek Hill's out for maybe 3 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we went with the Detroit Lions defense. They didn't crush us. They didn't do as good as we thought they would. Which is funny. They ended up tying. They let a 16-point or 18-point lead evaporate fourth quarter. But they scored 7 points, which is almost double their salary was $4,000. So
yeah, at 4,000, 4,100, I'm not going to be too upset with 7 points. I mean, would I have liked to have gotten 10 or 15? Sure, but the lineup cashed, and that's what matters.
That's what matters. All right, and then I think you did pretty good on when you finally got back into the state where you could play. You threw some lineups in.
Well, I decided to go ahead and throw it out on a limb and do some Monday night lineups, which there were 2 games, so that made it a little more easy for me to do. I don't like doing single game lineups. I did a single game lineup on Thursday night, and I don't think I did very well on that one. So I went with the 2-game lineup. The Monday night games were full of point scorers. Just the first game alone, you had the Texans versus the Saints. I mean, there's a million people you can pick out of the game that's going to score points. The second game with the Denver versus Oakland, I wanted to fade that game at all costs until I decided to only play the Monday night slate, and then it's hard to fade that game. But my lineup cashed. I got 132.32 points. I went with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. He got me 31.7. Josh Jacobs at running back, 23.8. He ended up having a pretty solid stat line. A little over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Went with Duke Johnson at running back. He only got me 11 points, and the thing that irritates me the most out of the Houston backfield is him and Hyde split the carries exactly down the middle. They both had 10 carries.
So we're going to have to watch that all year.
Duke Johnson ran for 5.7 yards a carry. Carlos Hyde ran for 8.7 yards a carry. I was talking up the Saints defense too. Go me. Put in DeAndre Hopkins because why not?
Right.
8 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27.1 points. Put in Emmanuel Sanders. You were all over Emmanuel Sanders. Got me 17.1. He had the garbage touchdown at the end of the game. Kind of saved me there.
I'll take it.
Needed to save some money somewhere, what's that?
I was just going to say with Emmanuel Sanders, he was targeted 12 times, though.
He was targeted 12 times. He only had 5 catches.
Was it 12? It was 12 targets, right?
12 targets, 5 catches. Yeah. That was that's Joe Flacco at his best. Needed to save some money somewhere, so these next 2 guys, I saved some cash. I went with Traquan Smith from New Orleans. He only cost me $5,400, and he got 9.6 points, so almost 2 times. The only thing is he only had 2 catches for 26 yards. He had a touchdown, luckily. And then Noah Fant, he didn't score a lot of points. He only cost me $5,100, but he didn't match his total. He only got 3.4 points. He had 2 catches for 29 yards. But he played 83% of the tight end snaps for Denver, so I think going forward he's going to be the guy in Denver. Threw in Phillip Lindsay from Denver, got me 8.6 points, and then Denver Broncos defense got me a big old fat goose egg, but that's okay because they also got 47% of the people that played a big old fat goose egg.
Oh, they're for it. Okay.
But yeah, I scored 132 points on this one. I had another lineup that scored me 131. I cashed in it as well. There were a few changes. I put in Joe Flacco instead of Watson, a couple other big names at wide receiver and running back. So either way, we had good lineups for both Sunday and Monday. So let's see if we can keep that going moving forward.
Well, speaking of Sunday, I forgot our tournament lineup ended up only scored 131.84, so it would have cashed in the cash games. But it was on most tournaments. The tournament cash line last week was around 142, 143. So we just missed that by about 10 points, which is mostly my fault because I took McCaffrey out because I thought he was going to be so highly owned, which he was, and I put in Leonard Fournette, who sucked.
Well, I got home and put together the cash lineup or the tournament lineup that I was thinking in my head when I tried to do it. That's actually what I did when I found out I couldn't play FanDuel in Louisiana. I put together my tournament lineup first because we already had the cash lineup done, and I knew I could just throw that in real fast. I only had like 15 minutes. I took that freaking tournament lineup I had, put it back together just to see what it scored, and I wish I'd have never done it.
Right.
I would have won $50,000.
Woulda,
Coulda, shoulda.
well,
Thanks a
you
lot,
get for going out of
Louisiana. Man, it was New Orleans. How do you not
right.
do it? Right?
I did okay. Real quick, I just wanted to talk about the Millie Maker last week on the main slate. That lineup scored 241.96 points, which beat us by over 100 points.
Yeah.
Well, less than about 90 points because we had 152. That's, to me, I've never hit 200 yet. That's kind of a goal of mine. But the thing I want to look at is all I ever hear people talking about is to win these big. There was 408,000 people in this tournament. To win these big tournaments, you got to get crazy. You got to play a crazy play. A guy named Head Chopper from Roto Grinders. He's all over YouTube. I mean, I've been watching his videos for a long time. He's the one that won it. And if you listen to this lineup, man, there's really nothing crazy in it. He had Lamar Jackson, who most people were playing, Dalvin Cook and Le'Veon Bell, which he saved some money on his running backs. They were both under 8K. But, I mean, people were talking about him. It's not like they're crazy plays. Deshaun Jackson was a tournament play for sure, 5,600. Nobody knew whether he was going to, do what he did. Nobody thought he was going to do that. But,
Right.
Sammy Watkins, 6,300. You were all over him. Chris Godwin, everybody was talking about Chris Godwin. He didn't. He's the least scoring player on this lineup. And then Mark Andrews, the tight end for Baltimore, who just paired him with Lamar Jackson, and everybody was talking about Andrews all year. He played McCaffrey, of course, and then the Jets defense. And this lineup won him $1 million.
Yep.
So I just want to say that it can be done. It's not that difficult. I mean, it is difficult, or everybody would do it, but I mean, it can be done. So that's our goal this year. Maybe not to win $1 million, but to definitely put together a nice lineup like that.
I've scored 200 points once. It was 2 years ago, and I think it won me $300.
Nice.
It was not in a big tournament.
I don't usually get in the big tournaments anyways. I've been at the 190, 185. Haven't cracked 200 yet. All right, so real quick, we don't want to take forever on this. There's 3 games. Usually there's the Thursday night game, the Sunday night game, and just one Monday night game, which I like it that way. For DFS, you probably want 2, though. But we got the Buccaneers at the Panthers Thursday night with a 49 total, and the Panthers are favored by 6.5. And there's some good plays in this game. I'm actually I'm going to enter a lineup into this Thursday night only contest.
Is it the any flex, or is it a full roster?
Nope. It's an any flex. And I want you to help me do that real quick. We don't have to go over those 2 games. We can go over those later. If you're going to get in the Thursday through Monday game, you can just put in a dummy lineup if you want to, and then you don't have to actually set your lineup until the game, right before the game starts. Right. So we're just going to go over this Thursday night lineup and see if we're going to go through here and see if there's any players we think are good plays and who we want to put in our 1.5 times. And so you want to play in the $1 million? There's a $1 million tournament, 132,000 people. $9. Let's get in that one.
I'm entering one right now. Let's go.
Go over the lineup here. We got Jameis Winston for the Buccaneers. You got Jameis Winston. He's at 14K. Mike Evans at 13K. Both those guys disappointed greatly last week. Mike Evans is, I don't know if he was sick last week, I think, Sunday night. And I haven't seen any news. I think he practiced. Then you got Goblin, who everybody was all over last week. He's 12.5.
Good Lord, look at Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton's price.
And McCaffrey's 16.5 and Cam Newton's 15K.
Cam
I
Newton
still
had
think
6 fantasy points last week.
right, but okay, between the two quarterbacks, we're going with McCaffrey, right?
Between what?
You got
I think you
Winston
have to take.
or
I think you have to take
or Newton. I mean, you got Winston or Newton
for $1,000 difference in
The
Carolina.
The Panthers' defense is pretty good, man. It's
I'm
in
taking
Carolina.
Bro, that's what I'm. Oh God, man. Blech, blech, blech.
I'm taking Newton.
I guess you're taking Newton there, right?
I am. The trick is I'm not putting him in the 1.5 slot.
No, that's where McCaffrey goes. I'm paying up for McCaffrey. I don't care.
I don't see any way McCaffrey doesn't score in this game, you know? I just don't see any way he doesn't. So, okay, McCaffrey.
It gets really, really hard to do a lineup by putting McCaffrey and Cam Newton in.
Here's one thing that might save some money. And I know that people are going to think I'm crazy here. O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate had exactly the same amount of snaps. I think O.J. Howard had 2 more snaps last week than Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate last year was just Winston's guy, you know?
Yeah, but Howard was hurt, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, but I mean, Cameron Brate, though, he's not a horrible. You know what I mean? I'm saying you could save some money there. It's only 7,000. O.J. Howard's 11, and the freaking Panthers don't have a tight end. Olsen's hurt.
Is he hurt? Oh yeah, he's got a back issue. I might play both kickers.
Both kickers. So you think this could be like a? Yeah, because let's see, Gay for the Buccaneers is 8.5, and Sly for the Panthers is 9.5.
And they average more points than everybody else. Maybe not Gay. He only averaged 5 points, but man, I don't know if I'm even putting a 9. I don't know if I'm spending $9 on this.
Well, you don't have to. But see, I think my sneaky play is I'm putting Cameron Brate in there. If he scores 1 touchdown. Now, Brett Perryman last year was pretty damn good for the Browns. He hasn't done. I don't even know if he's saw the field last week.
Man, this is hard to. Cameron Brate last week had 2 targets, 2 receptions for 8 yards.
O.J. Howard only had 5 targets. Four receptions, 32 yards. I mean,
oh wait. Brate's final line belies the fact that he made 2 touchdown receptions on the same drive in the second
they were both
quarter,
called back.
only to each be nullified by a DeMar Dotson holding penalty. I like Brate.
Yeah, that's what I was forgetting. He had 2 touchdowns last Sunday, and they were both called back. I didn't know they were on the same drive. That's even crazier. But if you put Brate in there, so if we go McCaffrey and Newton and Brate, that gives you 10-7 for the next 2 players.
I like Ronald Jones.
Do you?
I think he's going to take that. He's going to take that job full out from Peyton Barber. He had more work than Peyton Barber this.
Okay, so you're going Ronald Jones. I wonder if he's related to Ricky?
Ricky Jones?
Well, he's Ronald Seals Jones, and Ricky's Ricky Seals Jones.
No, it's Ronald Jones the second. Is his name Seals?
Yeah, his middle name's Seals.
Oh, interesting. I mean, you can get Ronald Jones for 10.5. You can get Peyton Barber for 8.
Okay, I'm going. We're going to have to differentiate. You're in the $9 tournament, right?
Yep.
We're going to have to differentiate a little bit. So you go that way. I'm going to try to put DJ Moore in here. That gives me 9.5. And then I'm looking at one of the kickers. And with a 50 total, you're expecting what? 28, 21?
God, Curtis Samuel only had 4 targets last week. Did everything go to McCaffrey? Like, was there anybody else on the field?
DJ Moore didn't have a bad game.
McCaffrey had 11 targets, 10 catches.
DJ Moore had 10 targets, 7 catches, 76 yards. 10 targets. It was either McCaffrey or DJ Moore. I mean, that's in the passing game.
Right.
You know who else? That running back, his name's hard to say, Ogun Bawali for the Buccaneers.
Agumbawale.
Yeah, he didn't have any rushing yards, but he's
their goal line back.
But he also caught like 6 passes or 5 passes.
He had 4 catches on 6 targets.
Yeah.
33 yards. All right, I got my lineup done.
Do you?
We're going a little different.
A little bit different.
All right.
I just can't figure out which kicker I want. Do I want Tampa Bay's kicker or do I want Carolina's kicker?
Well, here's where I went real quick.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey in my 1.5. Jameis Winston at quarterback. Cameron Brate. Ronald Jones the second. DJ Moore.
Okay. So we're definitely different. You got Jameis. Damn.
I mean, if either one of us win the million, we're sharing, right? I mean.
Well, obviously, Steve, you can be sharing.
Yeah, that's funny.
No,
so what's this at the top here that says 50K run pass catch TD bonus? If your lineup scores a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown, you'll win a share of $50,000.
Nice. I didn't know that. God, I gotta make this decision real quick, man. So I got McCaffrey, and then I got Newton and DJ Moore. And I got Cameron Brate. And I guess I'll go with Tampa Bay's kicker. I mean, I could go Peyton Barber.
I seriously contemplated putting a kicker in there. I seriously contemplated putting both kickers in there. If I'm being completely honest.
It is a Thursday night game. I'm only 500 away from Curtis Samuel.
I could have fit Curtis Samuel in with Jameis Winston, I think. Or with Cam Newton. But Samuel didn't have hardly any targets, man. I mean, he could blow up this game out of nowhere, of course.
Yeah. So what about this lineup? Tell me how stupid this lineup is, all right? I got McCaffrey, Brate, Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Ogundebuwai or whatever his name is.
I mean, typically quarterbacks score more than most of the other positions, so that's not a terrible idea. It's just it's a Thursday night game.
If it's a shootout like they're expecting it, how much money you got left on the table? I got $1,000 left.
Oh, my lineup's exact. It's 0. I spent exactly $60K.
Okay. This is what I'm doing, man. I'm pushing the button on it. God, nerve. All right, $9. It's in there.
Now you got me second guessing my lineup.
Why? Don't second guess, man. You got to go
Dinner
for the guts.
done. It's done.
All right. So, and then hopefully everybody that watches this doesn't put the same lineups in we have, so we all split the million.
How terrible would that be? I hope if this one actually makes it to YouTube, people look at it and go, "These guys are idiots," and then we win the million.
But you got to be a little bit different. I mean, you got to hope something happens. You know, you're not going to hit the $1 million on the same lineup everybody has. So
you know, what would be really cool is if somehow our lineups match point wise, and we split it anyway.
Well, I was wanting to talk to you about that.
Is that something we need to do on the video?
We don't have to. I'm just thinking, like, the cash games are ours, but the tournament lineups are tournament lineups. Like, if we hit something big on the tournament lineups, I don't see any. I mean, these are our lineups. We're making them together.
I'm game.
Maybe we'll pay for
our vacation next year.
Vacation next year, yeah. So
maybe we'll win enough to buy a cruise ship.
$1 million is not enough to buy a cruise ship.
We're gonna win it 3 weeks in a row.
I like the way you think.
All right, I like it. All right,
kid. And like I said, we'll go over the Sunday night and the Monday night game on our Sunday show. Just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Plays in there.
We typically don't play the Thursday, Sunday night, Monday night games anyway.
No, but people watching might, you know, and if there's a couple plays in there you think are good plays.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely discuss. I mean, just if you're out there right now and you're thinking about doing the Thursday night game, I can tell you right now, Christian McCaffrey's a good play. I mean,
oh yeah.
There's my one piece of advice. Play the dude that's going to go 1,000 this year.
He is unbelievable. I mean, just watching him play, it just almost seems like he's playing a different game than everybody else. I mean, you know what he's doing.
He's the white LaDainian Tomlinson. Maybe better. And I can't believe I just said that.
Oh, that hurt hearing it.
Am I wrong?
Short term, no. I mean, his longevity will.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. If he stays healthy as long as LaDainian did.
You know what I was thinking? He also and this is going to maybe
Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. So people, as I said, it's going to make some people mad, man. But he reminds me. Marshall Faulk's my favorite running back to ever live, and McCaffrey is good, man.
He is. He's really good.
So.
All right. Well, we got our $1 million Thursday lineups in there. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. Good luck to everybody else.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you Sunday.
See you Sunday morning, everybody.